1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2. All right, Dylan, how's that?
Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I've got is just what I got on. When that sun is high in that Texas sky, I'll be bucking at the county fair. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo, I'll be there. They took my saddle in Houston, broke my leg in Santa Fe, lost my wife and a girlfriend somewhere along the way. Well, I'll be looking for rain when they throw back the gate, and I hope that the judge ain't blind. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's on my mind. Amarillo by morning, up from San Antonio. Everything that I've got is just what I got on. I ain't got a dime, but what I got is mine. I ain't rich, but Lord, I'm free. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's where I'll be. Amarillo by morning, Amarillo's where I'll be.
How are you all doing? You're all welcome to the 36th live Peter's Garage Session show. And why I'm laughing is, at the last second, the book here in the corner decided he wanted a bottle of beer and I had to grab it out of the fridge. So, look, I hope you're all keeping well out there. And thank you very much for tuning in. Dylan, you might change the screen there. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I hope you're all keeping well. Again, if you can hit that share button in the bottom corner for me, I would very much appreciate it. It'd be great. As I said, all welcome. 36th live show. They're going through fairly quick, but we're still going. Now, I had a bit of a problem during the week with some of my equipment. My laptop basically gave up the ghost, so I've had to change over to a computer, and the main computer, and I just hope the sound is as good. It should be. So we'll see how it goes tonight, but it's quicker, it's better, and hopefully it'll be as good. And also, remember, all the songs I sing tonight are for fun and entertainment purposes only. I get nothing from them, so just to have the copyrights out of the way, but I don't know whether that'll stop us, but we'll keep saying it anyway. It's been working so far for me, so fingers crossed. So, you're all welcome, and we're going to get tonight's show off to a lively start like we did last week. We'll start off with the same song as we did last week because it went down that well. So Dylan, you want to hit her there? We're going to travel to Liverpool, County Down, and off to Donegal. And tonight's show is a very lively show. Fare thee well to you, my own true love. I am sailing far away. I am bound for California, and I know that I'll return someday. So fare thee well, my own true love, and when I return united we will be. It's not the living of Liverpool that grieves me, but my darling, when I think of thee. God, we're going to count it down. Woo! Oh, the County Down crowd up there, here we go. Near Bambridge town in the County Down, one morning last July. Down a boring green to the sweet Colleen, and she smiled as she passed me by. She looked so sweet with her two bare feet from the sheen of her nut brown hair. Such a coaxy elf, had to shake myself to make sure I was standing there. From Bantry Bay up to Derry Day, and from Galway to Dublin town, no maid I've seen like the sweet Colleen that I met in the County Down. Woo! Well, County Down, and now we're heading to good old Donegal. You know the words? Sing along. Here we go. I remember the night that he came in, from the wintry, the cold and the damp. A giant of a man in an oilskin coat, with a bundle, I thought he was a tramp. He stood at the bar and he called a pint, then turned and gazed at the fire. On a night like this, to be safe and sound is my one and only desire. So here's to those that are dead and gone, the friends that I love dear. Oh, and here's to you, and I'll bid you adieu, singing Donegal, Danny's still here. Me boys, oh Donegal, Danny's been here. Woo! Round the house and mind the dresser. Woohoo! The messages coming in, fair play to you all, and share like mad. Here we go. So then, we're going to jump straight into the next one because it's a good lively show tonight. I have a few new ones coming up later on, but I hope you enjoy this one. This one is called Ferryman. Haven't done it in a while, but here we go. Go back to the furniture, get out there and dance. Oh, the little boats are gone from the rest of Annaliffe, and the ferryman is stranded on the quay. Sure, the Dublin docks are dying, and the way of life is gone, and Molly, it was hard of you and me. Oh, where the strawberry beds sweep down to the Liffey, you kissed away that worry from my brow. I love you well today, and I love you more tomorrow. If you'll ever love me, Molly, love me now. It was the only job I knew. It was hard but never lonely, and the Liffey ferry made a man of me. Now it's gone without a whisper, and forgotten even now, and it's over, Molly, over, can't you see? Oh, where the strawberry beds sweet down to the Liffey, you kissed away that worry from my brow. I love you well today, and I love you well tomorrow, and if you ever love me, Molly, love me now. Woo! Hope you're all enjoying yourselves out there. Come on, let's have a great night. Well, now I tend the yard, I'll spend my days a-talking, and I hear them whisper Charlie's on the door. What, Molly, we're still living, and darling, we're still young, and the river never owned my heart and soul. Oh, where the strawberry beds sweep down to the Liffey, you kissed away that worry from my brow. I love you well today, and I love you more tomorrow. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. Oh, where the strawberry beds Sweet down to the liffey, you kissed away that worry from my brow. I love you well today, and I love you more tomorrow. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. If you ever love me, Molly, love me now. Oh, what a way to get the show started. Now, I'm just going to take a little breather here because I've a couple of people to thank. I want to thank ye all for tuning in last week at the earlier time of 7:30 because I had to go to a pub gig, and I have to thank Mr. Mel Conifrey and Mr. Sean Hussey. We had a great time last Saturday night in Mel's. Mel Conifrey's there on the main street in Edgertown. He was an absolute superb night. The place was, well, I'm not going to say it was packed, but it was social distancing was all occurred to, but it was a nice crowd, social crowd, and it was a mighty night, absolute mighty night. And thank you very much, Mel, for having me on. I sang for about maybe half an hour or so after the show here, and it was absolutely brilliant. So, Mel, thank you very much. And I will be in, and as I promised, I will do a night of my own, because now I have my own equipment. And I am going to start going out, and I'm going to start doing gigs on nights as well for parties and pubs, and I'm going to put myself out there now in the next couple of weeks, and let's see how it goes. So, Dylan, we're going to keep it lively, and we're going to hit the next song, and here we go. This one is called Mama Tried. I hope you like this one. If you know the words, sing along. That's what makes it enjoyable. Here we go. The first thing I remember knowing was a lonesome whistle blowing and a young gun's dream of growing up to ride on a freight train leaving town, not knowing where I'm bound, but no one could change my mind but Mama tried. One and only rebel child from a family meek and mild, my mama seemed to know what lay in store. Despite all my Sundays learned, towards the bad kept turning, till mama couldn't hold me anymore. Here we go! I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. No one could steer me right, but mama tried, mama tried, mama tried to raise me better. With her pleading eye to eye, that leaves only me to blame, 'cause mama tried. Dear old daddy, rest his soul, left mom a heavy load, and she tried so very hard to fill his shoes. Working hours without rest, wanted me to have the best. She tried to raise me right, but I refused. And I turned 21 in prison, doing life without parole. No one could steer me right, but mama tried, mama tried, mama tried to raise me better. But her pleading eye denied, that leaves only me to blame, 'cause mama tried. Cracking start to the show for 3 first songs, and there's more to come. But I'm going to hand you over to the woman herself. She's sitting there waiting patiently in the corner, and the pen is going like mad. But anyway, I'll hand you over to Pauline. Pauline, take it away.
Okay, I'd like to say hello to Margaret Murtha, to Angela Kelly and Seamus. And Angela would always like to send best wishes to her granddaughter Chantal, who made her confirmation today. I hope you all had a great day. Hello to Eileen and Mixpalan. Hello to Brian Kelly. And also hello to Margaret and Mihal Cannon. And Margaret would also like to send best wishes to Chantal for making her confirmation today. Hello to Mary Smith, Susan and Seamus Scott, Risha and Martin Carey, my sister Mary O'Reilly, and Bernie O'Neill. And I'll read the rest of it.
Fair play to you, Pauline. Thank you very much for that. And Chantal, best of luck today. Fair play to you on your confirmation or communion, Pauline? Confirmation. Well, fair play to you. Now, Dylan, we're going to dive straight into the next song. It's one that's very popular on the show. And this one is called Paddy. Here we go. You know the words. Sing along. From his window he watches as people they come and go on their way, rushing to catch the train homeward, as he often did in his day. He remembers the dark of the morning and the days that he worked in the rain, the good times and bad times and the friends that he knew. He'll never see them again. At night when the streets are deserted, except for the takeaway sign, he thinks of the men that he worked with on the buildings, the roads and the mines, the girl that he met in the Galway. He thought he might make her his own. Maybe if there was less drinking, he wouldn't have wound up alone. P is for powerful when put to the test. A is for always doing your best. D is for doing if it can be done. D is for drinking when working was done. Y is for yearning to see home again. Proud to be Irish and hard-working men. Paddy, remember though your day is up, you're the rock that England stands on. We can never explain just what happened. The years seemed to pass like a day. Was it the rain or the shovel took the strength from his limbs away? Sometimes he thinks of the boring that led from his house to the lane, and feels that he worked with his father. He'll never see them again. Here we go. P is for powerful when put to the test. A is for always doing your best. D is for doing if it can be done. A D is for drinking when working was done. Y is for yearning to see home again. Proud to be Irish and hard-working men. Paddy, remember though your days, you're the rock that England stands on. As he makes his way back to the shelter, rain starts to fall on the ground. A young man just in from Cork City asked him where work can be found. He said, son, take a good look at Paddy and remember whatever you do. This broken old man that you're seeing, he was once a young stranger like you. P is for powerful when put to the test. A is for always doing your best. D is for doing if it can be done. And D is for drinking when working was done. Y is for yearning to see home again. Proud to be Irish and hard-working men. Paddy, remember though your days, you're the rock that England stands on. Yes, I hope you enjoyed that one. That one, of course, is Paddy. Dylan, kick into the next one straight away. We're going to keep her going, lively as it is tonight. And this one, of course, is... I'm going to head a bit west because I'm going to do the Galway Girl. Remember, all the songs are done fun and entertainment purposes. I took a stroll of the old long walk of a day, I met a little girl and we stopped to talk of a fine soft day, And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? 'Cause her hair was black and her eyes were blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl round the Salt Hill prom with my Galway girl. We were halfway there when the rain came down of a day, and she asked me up to her flat downtown on a fine soft day, And I asked you, friend, what's a fella to do? If her hair was black and her eyes were blue. Thanks. So I took her hand and I gave her a twirl. Oh, I lost my heart to a Galway girl. When I woke up, I was all alone, with a broken heart and a ticket home. And I ask you now, tell me what would you do if her hair was black and her eyes were blue? 'Cause I've traveled around, I've been all over this world, and boys, I ain't seen nothing like a Galway girl. Galway Girl. Ready? I'm the Galway Girl. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that one. Now, don't forget, hit that share button if you can for me. I'd appreciate it. Now, Dylan, this next song, it's quiz time. And it's it's a new song. And I decided to put the quiz on this one tonight. This is a cracking song. So, I want you to name the Irish country star who had a huge hit with this recently. That's right. The Irish country star. He's a young lad. So, Dylan, if you want to hit it there, this is quiz time. I want the name of the Irish country star who had a hit with this recently. And I hope I do it justice, because it's a great song. I think it was written by Pete St. John, but this man sang it. Here we go. Should have it already. Absolute cracker. Another night of playing in the boondocks, another night of crying in our beer, another night of Mary quite contrary, rows that never came and humping gear, down the old white line of fame and fortune, maybe next time written in the sky. Always some new song to lift our spirits, with dreams that don't come true but never die. Here we go! We are the dreamers and believers, the singers and the sinners and the breakers of the mold. We're the lovers and the leavers and the lonely self-deceivers. We are the music makers and the hardmen for the road. Another night of so-called tour engagements, Another dartboard nightmare far from home. Half the band don't talk to one another. The other half are lying on the phone. Ah, it's a great life and only we can singing songs and selling love sweet dreams. But there's magic when we play together. Don't ask me what it is or what it means. We are the dreamers and believers, the singers and the sinners and the breakers of the mold. We're the lovers and believers, the lonely self-believers. We are the music makers and the hardmen for the road. Woo! You get it yet? You see our battle wagons on the highway, making pit stops at 1,000 nameless bars. We're living for the moment and the music, singing songs and reaching for the stars. But sometimes in the heart of all the madness, there are moments that money cannot buy, when the singer and the song just come together, and the music is pure magic, that is why. Here we go! We are the dreamers and believers, the singers and the sinners and the breakers of the bones. We're the lovers and the leavers and the lonely self-deceivers. We are the music makers and the hardmen for the road. We are the dreamers and believers, the singers and the sinners and the breakers of the mold. We're the lovers and the leavers, the lonely self-deceivers. We are the music makers and the hardmen for the road. Woo! What an absolute cracker of a song. And I hope you've enjoyed that rendition of it. And that is, of course, sang, and the Irish artist I am on about is, of course, the great Carlow man himself, Mr. Derek Ryan. Yeah, absolutely great. Absolutely great song, and I hope you've enjoyed that. Good lively number. Now, in no particular order, I'm going to give you the ones who got this right. I have Christy Costello got it right. Look. Bernie O'Neill got it right. Margaret Canning got it right. Eileen Splann got it right. Mary O'Reilly got it right. Angela Kelly got it right. Mags Fairview, Kathleen Farrell, and Breda Murphy. But tonight's winner of the fastest texter first is the one and only, her first time ever to win it. It's Mary O'Reilly. Mary, fair play to you. Mary goes to all the social dancing and all that, so if she didn't get that one, she was in trouble. Well, fair play to you, Mary. You got it, and you're the winner tonight. Now, I hope you all enjoyed that one. Now, this next song, believe it or not, this is funny. This was requested, this next song, by Mary O'Reilly. Yes, the winner of the text. It didn't, it just came up. It's pure random, and that's the way it happened. And this one, of course, Dylan, you can hit it, is a good popular song here in the studio by you all. It is, of course, 7 Spanish Angels. Hope you like this one. Again, all the songs I sing tonight are for fun and entertainment purpose. I make nothing out of them, but we're just having fun. They all belong to the artists. Here we go. He looked down into her brown eyes and said, say a prayer for me. She threw her arms around him, whispered, God will keep us free. They could hear the riders coming. He said, this is my last fight. If they take me back to Texas, they will take me back alive. There are 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. The 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. She reached down and picked the gun up that lay smoking in his hand. She said, Father, please forgive me. I can't make it without my man. And she knew the gun was empty, and she knew she couldn't win. Her final prayer was answered when the rifles fired again. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. And 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. There were 7 Spanish angels at the altar of the sun. They were praying for the lovers in the valley of the gun. When the battle stopped and the smoke cleared, there was thunder from the throne. The 7 Spanish angels took another angel home. I hope you enjoyed that one. Sorry about that. Got a bit of coffee there in the middle of it. The whole a tickle in the throat. Too many lively songs. So now, I hope you enjoyed that one. Now, this is a special song. And this is for a very special young lady. And this young lady is Tracy Wren. Tracy has moved to her new home in Newtown Forbes. And we wish her all the best. That comes in from her family, her friends, everybody that knows her, and us here in the studio. She's an absolute dinger. She never missed the show, and we love her to bits. Dylan, I'm going to give that woman a clap. She deserves a big clap. So, Tracy, and I'm going to sing this next song for you. And this is a great song. It's a Neil Diamond song. This is The Story of My Life. It's a lovely song, and I hope you like it. It's asked for every week since I sang it. I'm not going to disappoint. The story of my life is very plain to read. It starts the day you came, and it ends the day you leave. The story of my life begins and ends with you. the names are still the same, and the story's still the truth. I was alone, you found me waiting and made me your own. I was afraid that somehow I never could be the man that you wanted of me. You're the story of my life, and every word is true. Each chapter sings your name. Each page begins with you. It's a story of our times and never letting go. And if I die today, I wanted you to know stay with me here, share with me, care with me, stay and be near. And when it began, I'd lie awake every night, just knowing somewhere deep inside that our affair just might right. The story of my life is so very plain to read. It starts the day you came, and it ends the day you leave. Hope you like that one, Tracy. That was especially for you, and the best of luck. Now, I'm going to hand you over to the good woman herself. So, Pauline, over to you.
Okay, hello to Chris Toohey, and also hello to Peter's brother Christopher, and his wife Joyce, and Alicia and Shay, and also his mum, who is watching up in County Down tonight, and Barbara Goff, I think, is that the name, Peter? Yeah, Barbara Goff, all watching from County Down tonight. Also hello to Valerie and Des Flanagan, to Diane Hogg from Scotland, Pauline and Willie Evans from Scotland, Marcella Rellens from Cavan, Mags Fairview from Graignamanagh in County Kilkenny, to Mary Mannion, Danny and Susan Parker, Nolene Burke, to Maggie and Mickey O'Hara, and to Sean and Jodie Logan.
Well, fair play to you, Pauline. Thank you very much for that. And thank you very much for everyone tuned in. And, of course, we try to read out every name we can. And if we miss them, it's not on purpose. It's just we get that many. So, fair play to you all. And, of course, all the Down contingent up there listening, there's a household of them up there. They rang me beforehand to wish me luck. And, of course, fair play to you all. Now, this next song. Dylan, you can hit her there. It's one I done a few weeks ago. It's an old Dean Martin number, and it is Little Old Wine Drinker Me. I hope you like this one. It's old Cooler himself. Here we go. I'm praying for rain in California, so the grapes can grow and they can make more wine. I'm a-sitting in a honky in Chicago with a broken heart and a woman on my mind. I asked the man behind the bar for the jukebox, and the music takes me back to Tennessee. When they ask, who's that man in the corner crying, I say, a little old wine drinker me. I came here last week from down in Nashville, 'cause my baby left for Florida on a train. I thought I'd get a job and just forget her, but in Chicago the broken heartache's still the same. I asked the man behind the bar for the jukebox, and the music takes me back to Tennessee. When they ask, who's that fool in the corner crying, I say, a little old wine drinker me. I say, a little old wine drinker me. Just give me a second here. I'm going to hand the mouse over to my sidekick here. Sorry about that. My monitor went dead here, so Dylan is going to reboot that for me. But we're going to kick on with all the songs. We're not going to stop. This next song is a brand new song, and it was requested by a good friend of mine, Mr. Aidan O'Neill. He asked me to do it last week, and I couldn't put it in the show. So I'm going to do it this week. So Dylan, if you want to hit it there. This one, of course, is As Soon As I Can. It's an absolute classic song, and it's a great one. I hope you like this one. It's my rendition of it. Irish songs now in a row. I walk the soles of my feet on these dark London streets in search for a room and a bed, and my heart grows so weary with these nights cold and dreary. All I want is to lay down my head. I can see by your face that you're leaving this place, and you're taking the overnight train. If you should meet my mother, will you tell her I love her, and I'll write just as soon as I can. 6 months in this city, God knows there's no pity when you haven't a bob of your own. And there's no need for locks in this old cardboard box, even though it's a place I call home. I can see by your face that you're leaving this place, and you're taking the overnight train. If you should meet my mother, will you tell her I love her, and I'll write just as soon as I can. Cracking song. Come on, Ed, forgive me now. Outside Paddington Station, my heart it is breaking. I can tell by the tears from the rain, and the jingle and jangle of the damned old triangle keeps ringing around in my brain. I can see by your face that you're leaving this place, and you're taking the overnight train. If you should meet my mother, will you tell her I love her, and I'll write just as soon as I can. If you should meet my mother, will you tell her I love her and I write just as soon as I can. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that one. That's as soon as I can. Fair play to you, Dylan. You got that one go for me. It's just the monitor here beside me. It's grand because I can see the comments coming up and she froze on me. Modern technology. That's what it is all about. Now, this next song. I could not let this night go by without doing a song belonging to this man. Again, fun and entertainment purposes is all the songs I sing tonight. I don't own them, but this man is a legend. And if he was alive, it would be his birthday today. And that is, of course, the late, great, Big Tom McBride. So I'm going to do a little rendition of his, and this one is called Gentle Mother. I hope he's like this one. By the side of a clear crystal fountain, there stands a lonely churchyard closely by. There's a tombstone decorated with primroses and the memory of a loved one passed away. All right, Valerie. Shall I ne'er see you more, gentle mother, in the fields where the wild flowers grow, gathering flowers as they grow among the wildwood, and I cherished was no trouble unto you. Now, Valerie, I couldn't do your song for you, but hope this will make up for it. Some children take a liking to their parents, while some others fill their mothers' hearts with pain. But someday they will be sorry for their blindness, when crying will not bring her back again. All together now, come on, let's hear you. Shall I ne'er see you more, gentle mother, in the fields where the wild flowers grow? I am sorry for the loss I can't recover. 'Neath yon willow lies my gentle mother's love. 'Neath yon willow lies my gentle mother's love. I'm glad you all enjoyed that one. It's an absolute cracker, and of course it would have been his birthday today, the great big Tom McBride. Now, Dylan, we're going to crack straight into the next. No, sorry, we're not, because this is the birthday slot. So you can just pause it there. Just pause it. Yep, that's grand. Now, I'm going to hand you over to Pauline for the birthday slot. So, Pauline, take it away.
We only have one birthday tonight. We'd like to wish Willie Evans a very happy birthday. And that comes in from Mary O'Reilly and from all here.
Well, fair play to you. Of course, there's Willie Evans all the way from Oban in Scotland. Good friend of ours, a good friend of the show here. So, Willie, happy birthday to you. And we're going to do it. We'll do the normal deal. Here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Willie. All the way from Oban in Scotland. Happy birthday to you. course, to your lovely wife, Pauline, as well. Hello. And the family. I hope you're all keeping well over there. Now, Dylan, you can hit it now because this is The Road to Kildare. I hope you like this one. You know the words. Sing along. Cracking song. Here we go. Johnny was born in a mansion down in the county of Clare. Rosie was born by the roadside somewhere in County Kildare. Destiny brought them together on the road to Killorglin one day to meet the bright lacy shawl she was wearing. She stole his young heart away, for she sang "Meet me tonight by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. What if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop to stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. Think of the parents who reared you, think of the family name. How can you marry a gypsy? Oh, what a terrible shame. Parents and friends, stop your pleading. Don't worry about my affair, for I've fallen in love with a gypsy who was reared on the roads of Kildare. For she sang "Meet me tonight by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. What if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop to stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. You're welcome, Mel. At the start of the show, Mel, of course, I was at Mel's this time last Saturday night. Great night. Never played here. Johnny went down from his mansion just as the sun had gone down, turning his back on his kinfolk, likewise his dear native town. Facing the roads of old Ireland, with a gypsy he loved so sincere. Oh, when he came to the light of the campfire, these are the words he did hear. Here we go. Just one night by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. But what if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop to stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. For she sang "Meet me tonight by the campfire, come with me over the hill. Let us be married tomorrow, please let me whisper I will. Oh, what if the neighbors are talking? Who cares if your friends stop to stare? You'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. Oh, you'll be proud to be married to Rosie, who was reared on the roads of Kildare. Now, well, that's for all the Kildare people who were listening in tonight. I hope you enjoyed that one, the road to Kildare. And Mel, yep, star of the show I mentioned. Thanks to Sean Hussey, and of course Mel for having me last Saturday night. This time last Saturday night, I was just ready to go into Mel's and do a stint in there. Absolute great night. Cracking night it was. Now, this next song. Paulie, do you want to, or will I leave it for a while? Hand it over to you, or do you want to leave it for a while? All right, we'll leave it for a while. Now, this next song is a new one. It's one that I'd done a long, long time ago. Never done it on a live show. But I'm going to give it a crack here tonight. I hope you do enjoy this one. So, but it is new, but anyway. This one's an old song. This one, of course, is called England's Motorway. I hope you like this one. From my little son and I will tell you what to do. Undress yourself and get into bed, and a tale I'll tell you. It's all about your daddy's son. He's a man you seldom see, for he's had to roam far away from home, far away from you and me. So remember, laddie, he's still your dad, though he's working far away. In the cold and the heat, 40 hours of the week, on England's motorway. Sure, we'd like to have him here, for sure it would be fine to have him living here at home and to be with us all the time. But beggars can't be choosers, and we'll have to bear the load. For we need the money your daddy earns, a-working on the road. But remember, laddie, he's still your dad, though he's working far away. In the cold and the heat, all the hours of the week, on England's motorway. Glad you're all enjoying that one. It's a great one. When you fall and cut yourself and get up feeling bad, there isn't any use to go or running for your dad. For the only time since you've been born that he's had to spend with you, he was out on the line and a-making his time. He was working on the crew. So remember, laddie, he's still your dad, though he's working far away. In the cold and the heat, all the hours of the week, on England's motorway. Hope you like that one. I just said I'd throw that one in there. It's an absolute cracking song. You can't beat the old stuff. I agree totally with that. So glad you all enjoyed it. Now, this next song, Paul, I'm going to hand you over for the anniversary request. So here we go.
Okay, I'd like to wish Peter's cousin Damien and Celia a very happy 45th wedding anniversary. And that comes in from all here. And from his Aunt Josie as well. And also a very happy 50th wedding anniversary to Christy and Betty Parker. And that's from Mady and Mary Ashtari. And from all here as well.
Well, fair play to the whole eye. Celia and Damien and, of course, Christy and Betty. Give them all a clap there, Dylan. Go on, we'll put them on a clap there because they deserve it. It's a great milestone, 45 and 50 years. So now, this next song I'm going to sing for you is, of course, Celia asked me to sing a song for her. And Celia, I know you like this one, so I'm going to do this one especially for you and especially for Damien and for Christy and for Betty. And it is, of course, The Town I Left Behind. I hope you like this one. Fair play, Bags. And Angela Kelly. Margaret Kelly. Here we go. Last night as I lay sleeping, a dream came to my mind about a place I love so well, the town I left behind. And down the years I travelled, today so long ago, I swear to you I never saw a face I didn't know. And Aaron Maloney, this is for you. And sometimes when I'm lonesome, I think of where I'm from, on Cuba Street where old friends meet, the Shannon where we swam. And I can see that old bog road with a turf pile to the sky. Oh, Banagher, you'll be my town until the day I die. Again I walk the Lushmore fields, where often I did stray, and once again I saw old friends, the friends of yesterday. The Dolans and the Lunhams, the Mallons and the Rhines, the memories these names evoke of far-off happy times. And sometimes when I'm lonesome, I think of where I'm from, on Cuba Street where old friends meet, the Shannon where we swam. And I can see that old bog road with a turf pile to the sky. Oh, Banagher, you'll be my town until the day I die. Mary Whitney, thanks very much. Bernie O'Neill. Around the town I wandered, I knew my way so well, and then I saw the old sports field where I first learned how to hurl. I heard the curlew's lonesome call across the Callow still, and I watched the crows fly around the ruins of Waller's fallen mill. And sometimes when I'm lonesome, I think of where I'm from, on Cuba Street where old friends meet, the Shannon where we swam. And I can see that old bog road with a turf pile to the sky. Oh, Banagher, you'll be my town until the day I die. But now I'm in St. Louis, it's here I've made my home. I've watched my life drift slowly by, and I've seen my children grow. And though this land's been good to me, and happiness I've found, just one more time I'd like to see that town I left behind. And sometimes when I'm lonesome, I think of where I'm from. On Cuba Street, where old friends meet, the Shannon where we swam. And I can see that old bog road with a turf pile to the sky. Oh, Banagher, you'll be my town until the day I die. Are you ready, Brian? Here we go. And I can see that old bog road with a turf pile to the sky. Oh, Mostrom, you'll be my town until the day I die. Thank you. I hope you've enjoyed that now. And all the comments are coming in there. They're very good. Absolutely brilliant. Whoop, whoop. Hello, you all. And thank you very much. I love that song. Again, if you want to hear it, you can request it on Shannon's Side, Radio Mostrom, all the shows. They're all there on it. And I believe I was asked for it during the week by, of course, Mags was in last week, Mags McGinn, and she was looking. She has a scent as well. And, of course, Dave Smith, he's his own channel over there, radio station at Lone Community Radio. He goes out there Sunday mornings. If you want to tune into him, he's very good. And, of course, we have Radio Mostrom, goes out tomorrow night as well at 7 o'clock with the Frank Bride Show. So I hope there's lots out there for you all to listen to, and I hope you all enjoy them. Now, Dylan, Pauline, do you want to read out a few names? Okay, I'll hand you over to Pauline to read out a few names.
Okay, Danny Parker wants to say hello to Mark and Marcella Rellens from Cavan, and also his sister Bernadette in Florida. And hello to Mel Conifrey, Mary Whitney, Marion Sheridan, Josephine Lynch, Carmel Rellens, Breda Murphy from Cork, Dorothy and Ben Clifford from Scotland, Teresa Howard, Nolene Walsh, Kathleen Farrell, Gail McGuinness, Billy Ray, and Deborah Goon.
Well, fair play to you all. Thank you very much for tuning in. And, of course, all the way from Scotland there. An aunt and uncle of mine tuned in as well. I hope you are all enjoying the show. Now, Dylan, this is a lovely song. It's a Jim Reeves number. And I hope you like this one. It's very popular every time I do it. And I'm going to welcome you to my world. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Step into my heart. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world, built with you in mind. Knock and the door will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and you'll be given the key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. I'm Billy Ray. Bernadette Ward. waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Thanks, Angela. I actually love doing that song. It's a cracker. Now, hello to Bernadette Ward and Liam Kelly for tuning in. Fair play to you. Just come in from the boss there. I have to commend these two down here. They're doing an absolute cracking job as they do every week. Of course, we had a bit of a week this week where, as I said, one of my pieces of equipment crashed. Was the laptop, and I had to transfer over to the main computer. And Dylan gave me a great hand, and I think he's doing a fantastic job tonight because we weren't sure what way the sound to go, and we're having no complaints, so it must be pretty good. I hope it's good out there. Dylan reckons it is. He's monitoring it every minute here, and he's doing a cracking job. And of course, Pauline down there. So I can't do this show without them. So I'll get them up in a few minutes, but we'll sing a few more songs, and we'll get them up before the last song. This is a song I'm going to sing now. It went down fierce well last week, so I'm actually going to do it again this week. And I hope you all like this, because this one again is Geraldine is thinking of Galway again. If you know the words, sing along. Yeah, it's a great sound. Fair play. Come on, Dylan. Great job. Dawn it is breaking and Geraldine is waking, so far away, voice from she calls home. A new day is dawning and Geraldine is longing, far, far away over the phone. She always intended to travel, but she never intended to stay. Now Geraldine is thinking of Galway, but Galway's a long way away. Geraldine is thinking of Galway again, you can tell by the look in her eyes. Sometimes alone in the night time, Geraldine cries. She can still see the moon over Claddagh, or the sun going down on Clubay. Geraldine is thinking of Galway so far, far away. Bandit is playing and Geraldine is swaying to the tune of a pair of brown eyes. Now somebody calls for a small bit of sorter and the fiddler plays Danny Boy. As she listens, the music transports her so far away over the sea. Now Geraldine is thinking of Galway, and that's where she's longing to be. Geraldine is thinking of Galway again, you can tell by the look in her eyes. Sometimes alone in the night time, Geraldine cries. She can still see the moon over Claddagh, or the sun going down on Clubay. Geraldine is thinking of Galway so far, far away. Geraldine is thinking of Galway again, you can tell by the look in her eyes. Sometimes alone in the night time, Geraldine cries. She can still see the moon over Claddagh, or the sun going down on Clubay. Geraldine is thinking of Galway so far, far away. Yes, Geraldine is thinking of Galway so far, far away. Well, I hope you enjoyed that one. Geraldine is thinking of Galway. Now, this next song, I couldn't let the night pass without singing this one. Gareth Brooks announced that he's going to be in Dublin this year, so well, we hope so anyway. He announced it anyway. Dylan's laughing. Yeah, we heard that before, Dylan, but we'll keep our fingers crossed that he's here. He'll do 3 shows anyway, hopefully, maybe 5. But anyway, I'm going to sing this one for you, and I'm going to sing this especially for Valerie and Des Flanagan. Valerie asked me for a Pacific song, and unfortunately, I'm finding it very, very hard to do it. It's in a key that I can't hit, but I am going to keep trying, Valerie. I am going to keep trying, and only because it's you. And I am going to try my best, but I'll change the keys or something. We'll get something done. Well, this one I haven't done in a while. I haven't done it in a long time. I think it was your husband that asked me to. I hope you like this one. If tomorrow never comes. Sometimes late at night, I lie awake and watch her sleeping. She's lost in peaceful dreams, so I turn out the lights, lay there in the dark. And a thought crosses my mind. If I never wake up in the morning, no, Valerie, you're not putting me under pressure, you're fine. Would she ever doubt the way I feel about her in my heart? If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I love her? Did I try in every way to show her every day that she's my only one? If my time on earth were through, and she must face this world without me, is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? 'Cause I've lost loved ones in my life who never knew how much I loved them. Now I feel regret that my true feelings for them never were revealed. So I made a promise to myself to see each day how much she means to me, and avoid the circumstance where there's no second chance to tell her how I feel. If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I love her? Did I try in every way to show her every day she's my only one? And if my time on earth were through, she must face this world without me, is the love I gave her in the past gonna be enough to last if tomorrow never comes? So tell that someone that you love just what you're thinking of if tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow never comes. Cracking song. Now, before I'm going to go into the last 2 songs, but before I do, I'm going to do the customary thing we do here in the studio every night. And I'm going to bring the 2 main people up to say hello to you all. So Pauline and Dylan. Huh? They're delaying. They're to you all.
Hello, everybody.
The crew only for them. I couldn't do it without them. Yeah. Now this next song, it's the second last song of the night. It's one of my favourites. It's a Keith Whitley number. Again, all these songs I do are for fun and entertainment purposes. And this, of course, is When You Say Nothing at All. I hope you like this one. Hope you enjoyed the show. Unfortunately, it is coming to an end. But all good things. I hope you like this one. It's amazing how you can speak right to my heart. Oh, Tony. Christy. Without saying a word, you can light up the dark. Try as I may, I could never explain what I hear when you don't say a thing. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's the truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. A touch of your hand says you'll catch me if ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Great comments. I love your comments. Keep them coming. Again, spread the word every week. All day long I can hear people talking out loud. But when you hold me near, you drown out the crowd. Old Mr. Webster could never define what's being said between your heart and mine. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. A touch of your hand says you'll catch me whenever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. The smile on your face lets me know that you need me. There's a truth in your eyes saying you'll never leave me. A touch of your hand says you'll catch me if ever I fall. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Thank you, and I hope you all enjoyed that one. It's an absolute cracker of a song. Brilliant song. Now, before I go tonight, I just want to mention one man as well. A lot of you is listening to his show, and he goes off on a Tuesday night there, I think. And if he's on this Tuesday night, you can tune in. And that, of course, is the great Tony Moran. He does a great job out there. I do tune into him myself, I know when I can, an odd night. But Tony, doing a cracker job out there. You keep it up. And, of course, a lot of your listeners here are listening to my show as well. So we have a bit in common. Of course, cracker job, Tony. Now, before I go tonight, I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you out there for tuning in. Of course, without you, it wouldn't be a show. And we're all a big family. The comments that come up here are all great. And you all interact with one another. And that's what it's all about. So, if you spread the word and get your family members on, and we'll make our audience grow, and we'll have we're having a great time, but we'll have a cracking time anyway. So before I go tonight, I want you to keep safe out there. And I'm going to leave you with this number, because this number is an absolute cracker. I'm going to go to Donegal for this one. And of course it is by The Goats Don't Shave. Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Lively number. Eileen, Margaret Canning. You may talk about Atlantis, how it's lost beneath the sea. And the grave of an unknown soldier, the cry of an old banshee. And who was the man in the iron mask Jack the Ripper set free? But ask them all where Donegal is still a mystery. And if I could, I'd build a wall around old Donegal, the north and south to keep them out. By God, I'd build it tall. Casino, chicken ranches, I'd legalize them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Yeah, Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Yeah. They buy clubs and all-night pubs, blackjack and roulette. Neil Beatty, Bridget Nielsen and Mike Tyson having a bet. Kenny's throne will then be known for his multi-millionaires, where Donald Trump would buy a chunk and he'd live in solitaire. And if I could, I'd build a wall around old Donegal, the north and south to keep them out. By God, I'd build it tall. Casino, chicken ranches, I'd legalise them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Yeah, Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Woo! To stand on top of Errigal would give me such a thrill, and hear them say in Dublin there's gold in their hills. Don't despair, 'cause if you dare, the answer lies with me. There's a wall that's deep and it's gold cheap somewhere in Germany. And if I could, I'd build a wall around old Donegal, the north and south to keep them out. By God, I'd build it tall. Casino, chicken ranches, I'd legalise them all. We'd have our own Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Yeah, Las Vegas in the hills of Donegal. Rocket song to end the show. Josephine Lynch, Margaret Klein, Eileen Splan, Fiona Klein, all listening in. Thank you very much for tuning in. Again, next week, if you have any songs I want to sing, Brian Kelly as well, if you have any songs you want me to sing on next week's show, pop me a note, let me know. Stick it into the comments, stick it onto the... And we'll see us all next week, and we'll put together another good show. So, from us all, here in the studio, nothing left to say, only good night and God bless. Keep safe out there.